Hello, Langley. I'm going to talk to you about an elective class called Political Science, which is a semester course, and its tandem elective course, Current Affairs. The two in the grade book are determined as a first semester class and then a second semester class, each weighted as a zero point 0.5 credit, but really the two courses are interwoven throughout the year. The first thing we do every year is work on research. So it's about a 3-week unit. We work with the librarians to talk about databases, how to evaluate online sources, what is an online source, what is a news outlet versus social media, and a lot of other details to really just work on how are students going to find information, highly reliable information, and how to navigate the internet to make sure that they're better informed rather than worse informed. So research is really the name of the game for about the first 3 weeks, and it's a recurring theme every day. We also do a lot of current events. So usually the easiest thing after we finish with working on our research skills is to get right to a current event, something topical, something that allows them to be familiar, conversant outside of class with what's going on in the world, whether it's international or domestic or local, and to try to tie in some basic public policy. So students will write a basic policy proposal so that they get used to the idea of discussing some public policy or international relations policies. We have other units. Political philosophy is one, and that begins in the fall and it carries through the spring. So their first reading is always Machiavelli's The Prince. That's an in-class reading, so if any student is absent or misses some of what we're doing, that would be homework, but this is not a homework-intensive class. So for instance, when we're doing political philosophy, it's timed so that it's reasonable that students over the course of 3 block periods, not all of those blocks devoted to reading and understanding the guides, but that in 3 classes, they have read the portions of the political philosopher we are studying, and then all the assessments are open notes. So there's some application that's not coming directly from the reading all the time. But Machiavelli's The Prince, for instance, students read it, they had a guide to help guide them through, we discussed it, and then we did 2 rounds of open notes assessments. And the second round, as so often I'll do, is more based on the kinds of questions that students were missing so that we can go over them, and then I'll ask them those kinds of questions again. There's a unit on international relations theory, and it begins with realism and then some other schools of thought, and then we try to apply it to current events, to international issues. So often it's been the war in Syria, or what has been happening in Sudan, or U.S. policy in Latin America, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, you name it. And we will use Huntington's Clash of Civilizations as a template. It doesn't mean that it's true, but we know that it's a framework for the post-Cold War world to try to understand how do international relations work, and are certain countries increasingly syncing up their policies with a certain civilization. And last, we do a unit on global economic history. So there's a book, the title is Global Economic History, and the author is Robert Allen. It's a short book, but I find that students who are in World I, World II, U.S. history, and government can all use this material from this book, Global Economic History, to help them in their classes. And last, this course is, as I said, not homework intensive, but students definitely need to be on point during class, contribute, be very comfortable in a discussion-based class, and it is open to 9th through 12th grades. More students are in 12th than any other grade, but it is fun to have students in all 4 levels. And again, the course is political science, and the other course is current affairs, but the two are intermingled all year.